I'm Sage Carrington, 33, founder of a biotech company that just went public at a $2.4 billion valuation. Back in Georgia, I was the spare, too blunt, too tall, too obsessed with lab work to ever be the daughter mom paraded at Cotillion. My little sister Juniper was the pageant queen with the megawatt smile and zero backbone. Mom, Evelyn, decided everything good in the world belonged to Juniper by birthright. Then came Theo Langston, marine biologist, gentle, brilliant, the first person who ever said, "Your mind is the sexiest thing about you." I brought him home once. Mom's eyes did that predatory sparkle she saved for anything she planned to repurpose. Within weeks, she was inviting Theo to Sunday supper without telling me. She dressed Juniper in white linen and had her accidentally bump into him at the club. She told him I was married to the microscope, that Juniper actually wanted the big wedding, the legacy, the life he deserved. Theo looked torn, confused, already halfway gone. He never once asked me what I wanted. I found out the night of his birthday. I walked in with the cake, 3 layers of brown butter bourbon, and heard Mom seal the deal. Sage will always choose science over a man. Juniper chooses you. Juniper just smiled like she'd won something that was never a contest. I set the cake down, slid the ring off my finger, and left it in the frosting. By sunrise, I'd liquidated every account they knew about, finished my PhD remotely, and vanished to San Francisco. I blocked every number, erased every trace, and became someone they couldn't spell. The Bay turned me into a force. Angel funding, all-night labs, a breakthrough in gene editing delivery that made investors cry. I met Rowan Vale, venture capitalist, quiet storm, the man who proposed on a rooftop with the city burning gold behind us. We married barefoot on a big cliff with 10 witnesses and the Pacific roaring approval. 7 years later, Dad's shaky voice note arrived. "Please, darlin', just one weekend. We need to see you." I sent the jet. They expected the broken girl, who fled. Instead, they walked into a glass-walled Napa estate, greeted by my husband, taller, sharper, richer than anything Georgia ever grew. Mom's smile shattered on impact. Juniper's champagne flute slipped from her fingers and exploded on marble. Theo, still engaged to Juniper, still gutless, looked like someone had punched him in the soul. Rowan kissed my temple and said, loud enough for the room, "So this is the family that taught my wife she wasn't enough?" Dinner was exquisite torture, until Juniper broke. Voice cracking, she confessed. Mom had catfished Theo from my old phone, sent breakup texts, staged photos of me with lab partners, convinced him I was already moving on. Theo sat silent, eyes red, unable to deny a single word. Dad stood so fast the table shook. "Evelyn, you destroyed one daughter to crown the other?" For the first time in 61 years, he didn't look away from her. "We're done." Juniper started sobbing. I was 21 and terrified of losing her love. "I'm so sorry, Sage." Theo whispered, "I chose the path of least resistance. You chose to become unstoppable." Mom tried to storm out. Dad didn't follow. He stayed, moved into the guest house for a month, and learned who I actually am when no one's watching. Juniper shows up every Thanksgiving now, ringless, real, finally growing a spine. Mom sends stiff emails I delete unread. Some nights Rowan and I stand on the vineyard terrace, watching the fog roll in. I think about the girl who once believed love meant auditioning to be wanted. Then I look at the man who never asked me to audition once, and I know the sweetest revenge isn't making them watch. It's never needing their applause again. If your family ever handed your life to the prettier child and told you to clap, drop, I kept the empire below. We're out here building the kingdoms they swore we'd never rule, and the crown fits better when nobody handed it to you.